I'd like to invite now Megan C., Director of Partnerships Eco-Business, to deliver the closing remarks for our event today. Megan?
Dear distinguished guests, I'm very delighted to be addressing you at the close of today's very impactful conversations and rich sharings. I know that most of you here are just dying for your late afternoon coffee, tea, cookies outside, so I'll try to make this as short as I can. I was in Jakarta last month, kicking off the first of our series of 6 forums in this year's edition of Unlocking Capital for Sustainability. Themed Integrating Sustainable Finance, a Nation in Transition, the Indonesia Forum similarly discussed how the nation can maintain its energy transition momentum and how Indonesia can mobilize finance to safeguard its natural resources and biodiversity. It was such an insightful afternoon of conversations, but distilling these points, there were 3 key takeaways. Similar to many parts of this region, Indonesia faces significant challenges in transitioning from its heavy reliance on coal for domestic energy and revenue, while also aiming to maintain economic stability. 2, there is an urgent need to attract investment, developing robust policy frameworks, and honing in on capacity building of the workforce to support the transition, improving and building on the existing infrastructure, and specifically the grids, all while preserving biodiversity and protecting livelihoods. 3rd, also the energy transition demands substantial investment, and cities, being the national center of economic and business, play a vital role in developing, implementing, and overseeing investments into clean energy projects and driving energy transition policies. I think we can now all agree that these points sound really familiar because they also reflect some of the key takeaways that surface in today's conversations here, which include the challenges faced by SMEs, who collectively are a backbone of Malaysia's economy, in sustainably reporting, which includes lack of resources, understanding and expertise, which is why focusing on capacity building and cost-effective solutions to drive adoption is important for SMEs to embark on this reporting journey. On the energy transition, reliable infrastructure, and again, specifically a reliable grid, sufficient and diversified investments in funding, innovation, and enabling policies and strategic partnerships are all key to tripling Malaysia's renewable energy capacity, especially with a goal to halving Malaysia's coal fleet by 2035 and a complete phase-out by 2044. On the regulation of carbon, on the regulation or non-regulation of carbon markets, we see that a majority of the room are for the regulation of carbon markets, for the most part, to ensure the integrity and quality of carbon credits, preventing against fraud and market manipulation, promoting market stability for long-term predictability, and protecting public interest by ensuring that the benefits of carbon markets are distributed fairly. We're also going to publish that debate as a podcast, so do watch out for that. And finally, but not least, on board governance, there needs to be considered time and effort focused on the sustainability agenda, including the upskilling of board members as well, pricing negative externalities accurately, which will be the start of quality conversations on the company strategic agenda. Across our regional forums, it is clear to us that sustainability and climate change issues cannot be isolated from one country to the other, and that it is with regional and perhaps one day global cooperation that will lead us to where we need to be for a sustainable future. As Minister Nick Nazmi said earlier during the fireside chat with Jessica, we need to come together to put together common positions. Now, just bridging on to the next bit, which is the livability challenge. For those who have been with us since morning, I'm sure you might have caught some highlight video on TLC, that we like to call it, which is the region's largest sustainability solutions platform that we organize in partnership with Temasek Foundation. The last edition received a record-breaking number of more than 1,000 submissions across more than 100 countries. We're excited to share that the launch of the 8th edition of TLC will be on September 12th during our Unlocking Capital Singapore Forum, and we'd like to take this opportunity to invite all startups, innovative solution providers, ecosystem builders, and also investors to join us on this global innovation platform as we scale this to greater heights in the coming edition. On subscriptions, I've got a page here. We also wanted to share that we recently launched our suite of EB subscription plans. If you've enjoyed and engaged with our discussions today, we urge you to support our independent journalism by becoming a subscriber. You'll also get access to free training webinars and discounted event tickets. We're at the moment running a 30-day free trial for EB Circle, so do get out your phones to scan this QR code right there. And the description will give you access to premium content and our 15-year archive, as well as free training and industry events. We also have an EB enterprise plan for corporates, which enables you to give subscriptions to your employees and be part of our CSO Forum Network, which is a community of C-level executives meeting to lend each other support, exchange knowledge, and just have a good time together. Last but not least, on a separate but related note, as you know, we also host exclusive partnership events, and we have 2 here in KL tomorrow. The first is the Malaysia EPR Roundtable, jointly organized by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability, the Royal Norwegian Embassy, and UNDP Malaysia. This event will take place at Putrajaya Marriott Hotel from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and will bring together key stakeholders from government, industry, and civic society to discuss Malaysia's EPR journey and waste management goals. The second is on Scope 3 and traceability, leveraging optimized technology in the palm oil industry, organized in partnership with HCL Tech. This event will take place at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I know that both events overlap, how I wish we didn't, so you could go for both of them, where we will gather subject matter experts and stakeholders to discuss the challenges and opportunities to leverage on technology to help manage Scope 3 and traceability. If you are interested in attending any one of these events, please do approach myself or any one of my colleagues later on as well. This is the last point. We will be distilling all the insights and case studies from today and across all our geographies into an insights and action report, which we will share with you towards the end of the year. With that, I thank you all for your attention and for your full participation today, and we'll hand the remaining time back to Karun.
Thank you, Megan. This brings us to the closing of our event today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for such a wonderful day of conversation. As we start to reflect on all the insights and perspectives we've gained today, I wanted to once again thank our partners without whom this conversation would not have been possible. To UNEP FI, for their partnership over the years, our strategic partners, Capital Markets Malaysia, CIMB, Siemens Energy, and UOB Malaysia, our supporting partner, OCBC Bank, our networking partners, PPB Group Berhad and ProForest, and to our knowledge and outreach partners. A big thank you to all our speakers, panelists, moderators, guests, and the amazing EB team. This event would not have been possible without you. And thank you to all of you for joining us today for Unlocking Capital for Sustainability, Decarbonising Growth, Accelerating Sustainability here in Kuala Lumpur. Our next Unlocking Capital for Sustainability event will be hosted in Manila, the Philippines on the 14th of August, and thereafter our main summit in Singapore on the 12th of September. Do join us for those events if you're in the countries at the time. One more thing, if you have the delegate badge or with a few QR codes, there's a delegate badge with a few QR codes at the back. Do help us scan the middle QR code at the bottom row, where you will find our feedback form and give us your thoughts on the forum. I've already heard some from the crowd today, and it's been really heartening to hear some very positive feedback that we're getting back. So we'd love to hear more, or any way we can improve. So please do scan your QR code. You'll also find details of our ESG training programs on one of the codes, so do check that out. And if you haven't already submitted your commute details, please do. There's a QR code on the back of that too, and we'd like to offset our carbon emissions for this event. So if you want to have your footprint captured and for us to offset that, please scan that code at the back. And finally, don't forget to return your lanyards as we reuse this for our future events. Thank you very much, and please join us for some networking outside.